Good afternoon, good evening. We back in the building again for another episode of the Cuts and Styles Show. My name is Cuts by Dre, and we got my man in the building, T Styles. Say what's up to the
What's up,
people.
everybody? You know it's your boy T Style in the building, and today we got a good topic to keep going with my "Would You Work for This Shop Owner" series, Part Two.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like so. Would you work for this particular shop owner? I hope he
Yes,
ain't talking about me, but we gonna go ahead and get
yeah.
this one started. So what we talking about?
So episode 2 in this series is as the shop owner. Special for and like I said, well, everybody know we're gonna keep it real. Wait, we're gonna keep
Irrelevant.
keep talking about it. That we talking about my less experienced barber. We ain't talk about the experienced barber, because
Okay.
y'all should have y'all shit together. But this information might be good for you.
All right,
So,
we're trying to keep it clean, the
oh
audience
yeah,
too, man.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I
We ain't
apologize.
got no beat buttons over here. I don't know if YouTube cut you or not. I don't know. Yeah, do they?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just
Okay.
depends on what you're
If you get
saying.
too reckless,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's I
Okay.
do, I do. I apologize because that's not my type, and that ties into you. He made a good point. Remember what he said just now because we're gonna talk about that later in shop talk. All right, so here's the thing: as the barber, as the owner, are you responsible for bringing clients into your shops for the barbers?
To a certain degree, I believe I am. I mean, the how much advertising I should do. Yeah, I think the shop owner should do his reasonable amount of advertising if he want to stay in business. That's outside of any barber to come in. If the
Right.
shop owner want to stay in business, yeah, his job is to try to advertise his shop and bring people to his shop. So yeah, I do believe the shop owner is responsible for bringing business to the shop.
Okay. By what percentage?
Percentage
Yeah,
basis.
percentage
If you go
basis.
off on a hundred
100%.
percentage
Yes.
track, I say maybe 30%,
Thirty
maybe.
percent. That's it. Are
Yeah.
you serious? 30% out of 100. So 7% is less up to the barber who already playing booth rent. Also got to bring in the clientele.
Well, I mean, because this we all know this barber business is, even though you paying booth rent and you in the shop, you still kind of like you're self-employed. I mean,
That's
booth
true.
rental is
That's
self-employed.
you
You're a
right. You
private
right. You
contractor.
you right.
So you still are responsible for bringing in your own clientele. Yeah, I mean, yes. So
That's
I
true,
think
but
thirty
you are
percent.
the manager. You still the captain without even captain of the team. You the owner of the team, so it's still your job to make sure they know how to do that.
But when you're paying rent, I mean, it's a different story. If you was in a commission shop, I would be like, okay, maybe it's about 60 or 70% that falls on the shop owner. But if you're a booth renter, it's just like the shopping center, man. They not putting no commercials on TV that to bring business to the shopping center. They don't care. They want their rent every month, and they don't really care about putting out ads for the shopping center. Now some shopping centers may do that, but most of them don't. They leave it up to the tenants. You got to advertise yourself. Food Line got to advertise for their own commercials. Little Caesars got to advertise their own commercials. You don't see the shopping center with commercials talking about come to my shopping center and visit Little Caesars Food Lines and come see new styles, like T Styles and Cuts by Dre. Nah, it's left up to the people that's paying the rent. And if you a barber paying booth rent, then yeah, you gotta bring customers in. That's my opinion.
I mean, it's all sound good because they supposed to have it, but in the same, they still want new clients.
Well, yeah, I mean that's why you advertise to get new clients.
And they still, and some of them just maybe not if they're not good at it. As the shop owner, you got to. We not talking about these big. We talking about the little man. We talking about what you call it, the mom and pop type situation. We ain't talking about these corporation that don't really care about nobody. All they want is their money.
Well, I understand that, but you still a barber in a booth rental shop. Then you got to find a shop that pays. That's a commission based shop. If you want to rely mostly on the shop to put up for whatever, they're not going to be concerned with. Well, I'm sure they're going to be concerned with how much you make because the more you make, the more they make. But they're going to make more off of you, so they can afford to put more into the advertising based basically in the booth rent. Just like if you was renting a suite. If you're renting a suite, that's similar to booth rental, but it's your own suite. The suite owners aren't advertising for you or bringing you business. You renting the suite out.
That's
And
true,
those
but
suites are kind of popular right now. They've been growing a
exactly.
lot.
And they cost a lot of money. So I've advised you if anybody who gets a suite, they gotta have skill set that we are talking about right now as far as you need to know how to market it because the rent over there is tremendous. Plus where they at, they probably got a good you probably have a hopefully in a place where you get good walking traffic. You get a lot of traffic, so that would help. So if you saying okay, start we okay, let's just agree I don't agree with it, but 30% is the owner, 70% is the booth renter as far as the percentage.
Okay,
Now,
so you don't agree with it? Let me hear what your percentage should
I
be
don't
then.
I mean, I don't think that I think the owner should be especially for like new barber as all well, before I say what is
I ain't
because
heard no percentage yet. He beating around the bush.
right. And for me, I would say it's more should be 50-50 or even 60-50 towards the
There's no such thing as 60-50
I
unless
mean
you
60-40. You right. 60-40. I'm getting too hype.
yeah.
60-40 way of the shop owner. 60% of the shop owner because it's his shop and 40%
But
as
see
far
there
as
you confusing booth rental with commission.
no, I'm not. I don't it's got nothing to do with either one
Nothing to
of them.
do with either one of them.
It
So
just got whoever owns the shop.
okay, I hear you, but I agree. I disagree with you.
Okay, so
But
besides that, we're gonna go with your percentage, 30%, 70%. Now, out of that 30%, what exactly as far as the marketing as a shop do you do or would do? Like, is-
well, I think advertising and
what kind of advertising would
like
you do?
Google advertising on the internet. Like I have a internet presence that I have
Okay.
to pay for. Google AdWords. That's pretty much my go-to advertising. So you pay a monthly fee to be advertised on Google to see when people click on barbershops in the area, depending on where how much you paying, depending on how high your barbershop will rank or pull up. So I mean that helps. Commercials, radio and TV commercials helps as much as well, but they're much more expensive. So on average, the internet advertising is pretty much what most barbershops are doing.
Okay. And what about as far as signage, you know, um as far as how you see those with them flags or whatever, they got barber out in front,
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
yeah.
those kind of signs.
Yeah, or at the
Yeah,
end of the road or something like barbershop this way.
yeah,
Um
those are effective too. You
yeah,
got to clear those with the
with
city though. You just
okay.
can't put signs outside of your shop
Right.
without clearing them with the city. So you might can do that for a little while, until the city takes them down. But normally those are for like grand openings or a specific amount of time that you actually pay for. You go get a permit to put them out there for a week, but then you have to take them down. That's not something permanent you can do. A lot of companies do it, but they're doing it, I don't want to say illegally, but they're doing it against city regulations if they keep them out there.
Okay. Well, I didn't thought about it like that, but I do think it's definitely up to the booth renter to advertise for themselves because you basically a small business inside a big business. Now we discussed advertising for the radio, what we said the web, but the biggest thing now for everybody, which everybody know, is social media. Which more plays? I know social media play more as for the booth renter, the individual person to have a Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, anything he can put his work out. Now, with that said, should a shop have one too for the shop as a whole? Have them internet or social media present?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the shop should have a social media presence. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, how would that say you have for your shop? You have let me see, Instagram. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know too much about Instagram. If y'all know this is possible, let me know. If it's not, then it is what it is. If you had an Instagram shop for your for your barbershop and the barbers in there, can you link? Cause them barbers link to your page where when anybody go to the page for the shop that they can see the barbers that you have and click on their icon or something to go to their page.
I'm not sure. I'm not a big time Instagram user.
But can you do that on any? What about any platform? Can you do that on a website? Like if they go to your website, you can there look. They can see
Well,
who's the
yeah.
current
Oh yeah.
barbers
Well, the
are.
website is a lot more. You got a
But
lot more,
okay,
you know, flexibility on the website. So yeah, you can on a website put different links up, put a picture of a barber up, and you click that picture, and it could take you to maybe their Instagram page or something like that. Yeah, that is possible, and that's good ideas
yeah.
too.
And
So
then the other
definitely.
thing too is, I'm talking about the inexperienced barber that don't know, but let's be for real. We got a lot of barbers out there who could care less about any of this. They ain't trying to market it, they ain't trying to put no money, extra money in none of that. All they want is who they got cut. So we not talking to them. We talking to people who actually want to gain some knowledge, who want to know how to market and get up there and how to have a better relationship or a relationship with the shop owner and just seeing him or her going in and out and not giving you no feedback or what's going on in the shop at your particular shop. Now, with that being said, is there a possible way that you see that the shop owner and the booth renter can work together on advertisement, as far as say you say the advertising budget for the shop is at you have a set price on. I would set percentage, but they ain't gonna. I'm just make it simple. Say you had a marketing budget of $100 a month for the shop. Is it a way that you would get with the barbershop, be like, yo, this is the monthly budget for the marketing, how much you want to put in to help market the barbershop and yourself?
I personally don't think booth renters is going to go along with that.
Right. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand, but I'm just saying, just
I think they're just going to want to pay their
pay.
booth rent and be done with it because you're
Right.
going to have some barbers that may be more into getting more new clientele, and you're going to have some barbers that don't work as much as others. They might, come in when they want to, go when they
Right.
want to. Then you might have some other barbers as go getters, are serious about getting it in, and then if they're paying more on top of the booth rent, then they're going to be okay. It's the new walk-in come in. Who's going to get it?
Then
I'm
you have what they call it. You have things set up for that. I done been in shop where we have who gets the first walk in, if it's a walk in, all that stuff is just about
okay.
policies in place for things like that. But
Okay.
but I do agree with you said. You have to have barbers that are willing to do that, and since barbers, special blueprint, feel like they're their own business, everybody's not gonna go for that. But it's two things about that. One, if you're trying to build a team, everybody need to eat together, work together. That's how we build and grow. Two, if you got three, you got a shop of five, and you got two people who trying to do something, and three people not, and those three people eating off the other two. I don't think that's kind of fair.
Well, a whole lot of stuff ain't fair.
That's
That's
true,
but
but
if
we
you
trying to
paying the
minimize it.
but if you paying your booth rent, that's the only thing that people gonna consider what's fair. Are you paying if everybody's paying the same amount of booth rent, then that's all they're gonna care about. They're gonna pay their booth rent, they're gonna be in and out as they please. So I don't think a lot of the things you're saying I think will work smoother with a commission based shop, because then everybody the shop owner got to be more involved in making sure everybody's on the same page, and the shop owner has more control over
Right.
everybody because you're now an employee of mine. You working on commission and you are my employee, so you got to do it this way by this policy. But as soon as you change the booth rent, you become individual independent contractors. Then everybody want to bring their own rules in.
Right.
So that's the difference. It's difference between booth rental and commission.
I mean, I understand that, but I kindly disagree.
I mean, you
Regardless if you commission or booth rent, if we are trying to build a team, we are just trying to build a team. Either you a part of this team or you not. Whether you commission or you booth rent, because even if you commission, the only thing a commission is basically is yes, you an employee, but all they can tell you is what time you come in and what time you leave. You still doing the same thing as the other barbershop doing.
I mean, but there is a big difference
Yeah, of course, on certain things,
between a
but I'm talking
commission.
about as far as building a team or people who want to work together. That ain't got nothing to do with you commission or booth rent. And we trying to build a team. I understand what you saying when you doing booth rent. You an individual as far as you your own little company, so you kind of can do your own thing. Which I agree. All I'm saying is if I'm doing booth rent, all my little individual company needs to still be able to work together so we can do something. If you don't, then ain't no point in you being in my shop.
I mean, yeah, but you can say that, but that's not kind of how it's going to work in the real world. I
How
mean,
not? That's why
because
not?
because when you are a commission, when your shop is based on commission, your barbers have to listen, basically listen to you. You are their boss. Either way, they're working under your shop, but commission, you are their boss, you are their employee, so you can set rules when they come in, when they don't, because you don't make money if they're not there. If they're not there, you don't make money. I used to work for a shop that was commission based before I opened my own shop, and we had to be at work at 9 o'clock. If we got to work at 9:01, we was charged a late fee. Then we,
Wow.
if the shop closed at 6, we could not leave at 5:59. We had to leave at 6 o'clock on the dot. If we left early, we were charged a late fee. And then each person had a lunch break. Chair one had a lunch break from 12 to 12:30. Chair two had a 12:30 to 1, and so on and so on. So they ran their shop based on how they wanted to because it was commission. Shortly after, I left that shop because I couldn't work under those conditions, and I went to a booth rent shop where I had the freedom to come and go and set my hours as I wanted to. So even though you're in a booth rental shop, there's a big difference between commission and booth rent. You just can't demand ask barbers that are paying you a set fee each month and tell them when they can come, when they can go, when they're going to eat lunch, if they're going to be on this team with everybody else. They're going to be like, look, I'm paying booth rent, man. I'm my own entity. I have a business license
Right.
here that the city requires me to get,
Right.
so I'm self-employed. You really can't tell me anything but increase my rent or lower my rent. That's basically the only conversation that we can have now. The shop can have rules as far as the cleanliness, the atmosphere, and all that. But as far
Right.
as everybody being on the same team, I mean, it'll be kind of difficult to get a lot of booth renters on that same page.
I,
That's my opinion.
I agree. No, I agree
And
to
based
certain
on 30
extent.
years in business, I that's a difficult thing that you're
Right.
asking for.
I agree, but I think it worked due to the fact that depending on what you were asking to do. When I mean said team, I ain't talking about you still come in what you want to. I ain't making rules like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about where we can work together. Lunch break, all that other stuff, that's micromanagement because even commission don't tell you when I've been in commission shop too, and they don't tell us when we go to break. They just when you break, you clock out or whatever, but you still go what you want to as long as you're not going when it's busy. But this is a good topic, but I don't want to go off the topic that we was talking about. That can be a later topic. That's a pretty good topic that I mean we don't want to go to show too over. So with that being said, we was talking about earlier as far as the conversation we was having, and I use a curse word, which is not.
He still remembering that, huh?
Yeah, I remember that because it leads me into our shop talk.
Okay.
And today's shop talk is basically this. Um, what as far as in the what type of culture do you have or do you want to have in your shop when it comes to the type of language that is being displayed or spoken, the topics that can be discussed or not discussed in a shop? Do you think like because back in the day, even when you was giving me somebody or whatever, it was certain things that we you didn't discuss, you didn't talk about politics, you didn't talk about and you didn't talk about money, and you didn't talk about religions. Certain things was off limits that you really because you know what that can bring. So in the days, cancel culture, oversensitive, and all the other stuff that's going on with the world today, what kind of culture do you think a shop should have, or what kind of culture do you want your shop to have?
I mean, I have always been a family friendly shop, so
Right,
no profanity being used, no profanity in the music that's being played. So I've always been known for a family shop. A lot of people come to our shop because they know they can come in with the kids, with the family, get a haircut in a good atmosphere, and not have to worry about a whole lot of nonsense. That's what I've been known for. I think that's the environment that will keep you in business the longest, and that's my personal opinion. As far as what topics can be discussed, now we normally I don't really have a ceiling on what topics can be discussed, just as long as it doesn't get out of hand and turn into something else. The barbershop is a barbershop, and I think we should be able to come in a barbershop and discuss all types of things because I think that's where it's always been. That's been the place since the beginning the barbers were established, where you can come in and talk your talk, man,
Right.
lay down how you feel. So
Nice debates and
I
stuff
don't really
without
like,
people getting over
yeah, as long
jealous
as they
and
don't
that.
get over, you know,
Right.
don't get out of control. I don't really have a limit or a ceiling on what you can talk about. You know, as long as it's kept professional, as long as it's kept clean, you know, language is kept clean, and you respecting the people that's in the barbershop. You know, you look around before you start talking. If you see somebody in the shop that might be offended by your topic, then it's not a topic to have or not a topic to discuss. So that's definitely how I feel about that.
Okay, and one last thing before we go, how would you correct somebody that get out of pocket with that? You know, as
Well,
far as I know, you with the barbers, you can put them aside when all said and done and discuss them. But how, as far as a client or a
I mean, well,
customer?
yeah, you let them know, hey, chill out. We not having that conversation right now. You know, it's pretty simple. You know, you just let them know, hey, we're not having that conversation here. You know, you gotta take that conversation somewhere else. You're taking it a little bit too far, and normally customers is gonna respect that.
I mean, what I work in the shop too, so for the most part, we do. Everybody do manners for the most part. We don't have no problems. We do listen to a lot. We listen to a lot of different music, R&B, old school hip hop. So we do have a nice culture environment where you can come family friendly, as he said. But that is our show for today. Thank y'all for joining us. If you like what you hear, give us a like. You know, subscribe. Let us know how we doing. And Drake, you want to end us?
Hey, I once again I want to thank y'all for checking out the Cuts and Style show, and we're gonna end off with one of our commercials. So make sure you check us out on our next episode. Welcome to New Styles Mobile Barber. Come on in.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Right.
Okay, okay, I like this. It's on this table. Oh yeah, this is a vibe for sure. You got the game on the TV.
Yeah, have a seat, have a seat. We're gonna get right started right with you. All right. How you doing today, sir?
Pretty good about yourself.
All right, all right. What kind of haircut would you like today?
Just a taper and a lineup.
Okay.
I like what you got going on here, man. This looks real nice.
Appreciate that, appreciate that. Here you go, sir. How you like that?
Okay. This is nice. This is sharp right here. Definitely get some things.